Welcome to the Hotel California.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm going to pass on a little trick that I came up with some years ago. I was fishing a really tricky water where the fish had seen it all before, and a lot of people were fishing the same old, and they were catching fish, but um, not on the regularity that I would have liked, and I struggled too, until I came up with this. And I'm sure this is somebody else come up with this a long time ago. I don't know, but hey ho, it is what it is. So I'm going to pass on this little trick to you, and I really hope that you use it and you comment on it. You know, that you let me know on whether your catch rates improve, because I'm sure they will. I'm quite confident in that. So without further ado, if you are fishing with snowman rigs or double bottom baits, um, then I want to try and emulate what I'm fishing with. Now, 9 times out of 10, you know, we fire the rig out there and we're firing single food items. Now, straight away, that's alien to the carp. You know, you're fishing with a double bottom bait or a snowman rig, but you're feeding single food items. So how do you emulate what you're fishing with? And after a little bit of thought, I came up with using pasta just in its dry form. And no, I'm not going to cook a spag bol. So for those of you that haven't had your tea yet, I'm sorry, but you know, you're going to have to cook your own. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to do it. So get a piece of pasta. I've got two baits here, and you probably guessed what I'm going to do. So I'm going to push the pasta, and you've got to be a bit careful with this. I mean, these are quite small boilies anyway. And I'm going to push the pasta into the bait. Now, I'm not going to go all the way through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the other boilie and I'm going to put it up against it. But I do want a little bit of a gap. I don't want it bushed up right up against it. And I'm going to snap it off at about there. So you're ending up with that. I hope the camera can pick that up. I'm sure it can. And you probably guess what I'm going to do next. Get your other boilie and you push that, but I leave it so it's a little bit like a dumbbell. So there's a gap in between. You probably see the pasta in between the two boilies. Now the water will attack that and it'll go very soft. It'll go very pliable. But when in its dry form, you can fire them out a hell of a long way with a catapult, or you can use a spom, or if you're lazy, you can use a bait boat. So why not use, if you're fishing with double bottom baits or snowman rigs, why wouldn't you feed your free bait as doubles? Pasta's it's very inexpensive. Obviously I raided my cupboard and I found that, so I thought I'd pass on this little trick. My catch rates improved probably 50% by using this little trick. You can still super boost them in exactly the same way. So you can do a load of these the night before or a couple of days before, put them into a bucket. You can use your dedicated liquids and then your powders afterwards and really boost them up mega. And as I said, I don't see anybody out there doing this, and why nobody's put this on YouTube to maybe, you know, secret squirrels and all that. But I really hope this helps and you really give it a go. So it just makes sense if you're fishing with double bottom baits or snowman rigs to match what you're fishing with. Just makes sense to me. Also, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. Do I use particles? And the answer to that is yes, I do, an awful lot. And what company do I use? Because there seems to be quite a lot of, I think it was with one bait company. I was reading quite a bit where they were fleecing people and one thing and another, and they were a bit dubious about going over. There were a lot of people would probably doing it themselves, but I've been involved with, what should I say I've been involved with? I haven't been involved with. I've used this company pretty much since it started, and it was a guy called Alex Lister. He's such a nice fella. I used to work at the Monument Carp Fishery in Shifnal alongside Rob Ailes. And I'm going to show you carbon baits. I've used carbon baits particles now for some years. Alex, I don't think expected it for it to take off as well as it did, and he was struggling. I know that he sold it on, and another guy has now got it, and he's moved it forwards. This is the Dark Side mix. This is the one I prefer, but I have used the others in the range. I use the popcorn mix, popcorn maize, sorry, an awful lot, which is what I first used on the, I suppose, the infancy of carbon baits. Did really well on it, and it was preserved. I never ever found it to be a disadvantage. This is preserved. Again, I don't think it's made any difference to my fishing. They come in these really nice sexy jars. This has got absolutely everything in it, absolutely everything. It's got tears, it's got probably 80% of that is hemp anyway, but it's got chopped maize. There's all sorts of going on in that mix, and it keeps really well. From the time you buy it, obviously from opening it, I think you've got about 3 months to use it. Now, I have used only maybe half the jar in the past. I've put the lid on. It's been kept in my van, so it's always pretty cool in there, and it's been fine for the next session, which might have been the following week or whatever. Some people will refreeze it. With that, you don't have to. You can leave it in the jar. It did start to turn a little bit, but I do prefer that because all the natural sugars and the salts and everything are coming out the bait, and I'm sure that the carp really find that attractive. But that's the company I use. They do loads of other things in the range as well. They don't just use the Dark Side mix, they do box standard hemp. They also do natural baits now as well, so freshwater snails they do, and whole krill as well. Obviously it's a little bit more expensive. I think this jar was about $8.99, and I normally have 2 or 3 of these floating around in the van. And as I said, there's an awful lot of food items in there. 2 or 3 spoms of those is really all you need. You don't need to go mad. But if my plan of attack for that session is mainly going to be on particles, let's face it, some fish prefer vegetable food items, so I tend to use small items that I'm fishing with also. I've seen other guys that have used similar mixes and then stuck an 18mm pop-up over the top. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong, but to me, I've just not got no confidence in that. It looks unnatural, and I think it gives the carp warning signs, put it that way. But it's just down to confidence. If I'm using particles, then I fish small hook baits as well. I don't want anything going against me, and I think an 18mm boilie over that would look rather unnatural, to be honest. But that's the company I use. Check them out. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram as well, they're also online. You can order online. The turnaround is very quick. The guy who's got it is an honest guy. Always keep you updated, obviously, with delivery times, etc. Or like me, if you live local, you can always go and pick it up. A lot of tackle shops now sell this carbon baits. I think maybe it's sort of West Midlands way. They tend to stock the carbon baits because he's so local. There's no issues with supply. But I do know a couple of guys in my Cornish syndicate that were ordering this to use down there, and I think they were having it within sort of a couple of days. So that tells you how quick that that Carbon Baits they look after their customers quite well. And if they didn't, I certainly wouldn't be using them. I'm not sponsored by them, one iota. Just the particle company I prefer to use. And as I said, support local, so why not? But yes, I do use particles. That's what I use. Hope you check out the little pasta trick. Let me know how you get on with it. If you do try it, I'm sure that your catch rates will improve. I am pretty confident in that. As I said, don't see many people using it. As I said, you can still super boost them, put them in a bucket, etc. Douse them in liquids, and put your powders on, give them a good shake. You still use them, but I'm damn certain that your catch rates will improve. So apologies if you think I was going to cook you a spag bol. which I clear, mind you, if you tasted my spag bol, you probably wouldn't like it. But yeah, I hope you give it a go, guys, and stay lucky. Hope you get stinky nets, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.